I opened the kitchen door. Before I had even put a foot inside, I noticed there was something red on the kitchen floor. I wonder what that is. Maybe Adam has spilled some tomato sauce or something? That's when I saw him. Adam was lying face down on the floor with a huge knife sticking out of his back. Ah! But before I continue with this crazy story, make sure you remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell too. My hands are shaking so much I could hardly punch the numbers into my phone.
Hello, police. How can we help you?
Quick, you must come. It's my husband. He's been murdered.
Okay, miss, calm down. Calm down.
Please come now.
Just relax. There is an officer on the way to you now. Please stay on the phone.
He just started crying. What will I do without him? We've been married so long.
Is there anyone else there with you?
No.
Okay, just stay where you are. The officers will be with you shortly.
I heard the sounds of sirens coming in the distance. A couple minutes later, the police car pulled up in front of our house.
Were you the one that found him?
Yes, I had just been shopping.
What time did you leave the house?
It was just before 4 o'clock.
And what time was it when you returned?
Probably around 7.
Okay, so we have about a 3-hour time frame. Do you know if Adam was expecting anyone to come to the house at all whilst you were out shopping?
I don't think so. He didn't mention anything anyway.
Okay, thank you. We will probably want to ask you a few more questions later, but for now, maybe you should leave us to our work.
One of the policemen led me through to the lounge.
You wait here. I will get you a cup of tea.
I'd better call Adam's parents. I took a deep breath. It was going to take everything I had to make the phone call. How do you tell someone that their son has been murdered? I heard the sound of Adam's dad's voice on the other end of the phone.
Hi, Selena. What a nice surprise. How are you?
I burst into tears.
What's the matter?
It's Adam. He's dead.
What?
He's been murdered.
Oh my God, no!
I could hear Adam's mom in the background asking him what had happened.
It's Adam. He's dead.
I heard her cry out in shock.
No! My baby! No!
What happened?
I don't know. I came back from shopping and found him in the kitchen.
But why? Who would do such a thing?
I don't know. The police are here now. They're gonna gather all the evidence.
Will you be okay? Do you want us to come over?
No, it's all right. I'll be fine. Anyway, I'm sure the police will be here for a while.
Okay, we will see you tomorrow then.
I could still hear the sound of Adam's mom crying in the background. Will you be okay?
Yes. Don't worry about us. We have each other.
The door opened and the policeman walked in with a cup of tea for me. I'd better go now. The police have just come into the room.
Okay, bye then.
Bye.
Here, drink this. I put 2 sugars in. It will help with the shock.
Thank you. I sipped on the hot, sweet tea. Why would someone do something like this to Adam? He was such a lovely man. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Don't worry yourself. That's our job. I promise you we will find out who has done this, and they will go to prison for a very long time.
I shook my head. I just can't believe it. How can something like this happen to such a lovely man?
I'm sure it must be a big shock. Do you have someone that can come and stay with you?
I'll be okay. Adam's parents said they will come over tomorrow.
That's good then. You shouldn't be on your own.
The police stayed until the early hours of the morning. I thought that I would never get to sleep after they left, but eventually I managed to drift off. I was woken a few hours later by the sound of the doorbell ringing. I looked at the clock. It was only 6 a.m. Who can be here at this time? I went downstairs and opened the front door. Standing there were 2 policemen that had been with me the night before. Have you found out who did it?
That's not why we are here. I'm sorry, miss. You are under arrest.
What? But I haven't done anything.
We have been tipped off by Adam's mother that you are the one that murdered him.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It's not true. She's made it up. She's never liked me, you know.
I'm sorry, but we will have to take you to the station for questioning.
The policemen handcuffed me and put me into the back of their car. They didn't say a word to me on the way to the police station. When we arrived, another policeman took me into a back room and told me to sit down. It seemed like an age before anyone came. But eventually, the door opened and 2 officers came in and sat down opposite me.
Right, let's get straight to the point. Where were you between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. on the night of the incident?
I was out shopping?
Can anyone vouch for you?
No, I was alone.
So you don't have an alibi?
I guess not.
Had you and Adam been fighting?
No, No, of course not. We were really happy. I love Adam. I would never do anything to hurt him.
But we only have your word for it. Adam's mother seems to think differently.
That's because she never wanted Adam to marry me in the first place. She didn't think I was good enough for her son.
Well, I'm afraid you will be reprimanded on bail until we can investigate further.
My heart sank. How can this be happening? As if it wasn't bad enough that I lost Adam, now I'm being locked up in a cell? I lay down on the bed in the cell and stared up at the ceiling. This is crazy. How can they think it was me that murdered Adam? How long are they going to keep me locked up in here? But luckily, I wasn't there for too long. After a few hours, they came and opened my cell door.
You can go home now. Adam's dad has paid your bail money for you.
Oh, thank goodness. You see, he knows I wouldn't have murdered Adam. He wouldn't have paid the bail money if he thought I was guilty, would he?
Well, we still have to complete our investigation just so that we can be certain you are not guilty.
I was just so thankful to be able to go home. But when I pulled up in front of our house, I couldn't help but burst into tears. How can I live here without Adam? Everywhere I look, I'm reminded of him. I went into the kitchen and put the kettle on. Suddenly, my phone started ringing. I looked to see who was calling, but they had withheld their number. Hello?
I heard your husband was murdered. You deserve it.
I dropped the phone and it landed on the floor. I was so shocked. Who would say something like that? I couldn't believe that anyone could be so mean. I picked up the phone and with shaking hands called Adam's dad. I told him about the phone call.
You leave it to me, Selena. I will hire a private investigator, and we'll find out who it was that called you.
Thank you. I don't know what I would do without you. It didn't take long for the private investigator to find out who had made the call. When he showed me the photograph of the caller, my heart dropped. That's Nancy.
Who?
She's this weird girl who wouldn't leave Adam alone. She was basically stalking him. We had to get the police to warn her off.
Well, they will be doing more than warning her off after what she has just done. It wouldn't surprise me if she was the one that murdered Adam.
Oh my god. Do you really think it was her? I mean, I know she's kind of crazy, but surely she wouldn't be capable of murder.
Well, let's see what the police have to say.
The private investigator told the police everything that he had found out. They arrested Nancy and took her in for questioning. They told Adam's parents and I that we could watch through a one-way glass as they interrogated her.
Did you murder Adam?
No, of course I didn't.
Where were you on the night of the incident?
I was at home with my family.
Can they back up your alibi?
Yes, of course they can.
But you do admit to making the phone call.
Yes, I did do that, but I definitely didn't have anything to do with his murder.
Adam's parents and I looked at each other and shook our heads. It seems like Nancy's innocent. She obviously just made the phone call to me because she's mean.
Come on, let's get out of here. We have a long day tomorrow.
The following day was Adam's funeral. It was so sad. The church was filled with all of his friends and family. Some of them I had never even met before. They played his favorite song. As I watched them lower his coffin into the ground, tears streamed down my face. Adam's dad put his arm around me and gave me a squeeze.
Are you okay?
I nodded through my tears. I just miss him so much.
I know. We do too.
After the funeral, we all went back to Adam's parents' house for something to eat. Everyone was so nice to me, telling me that I was part of their family now, and that I shouldn't be a stranger. Even Adam's friends were supportive of me.
You made Adam really happy. If you ever need anything, please just ask, okay?
Thank you. That means a lot. Once everyone had left, I said my goodbyes and drove home. When I got inside, I sat and thought about the whole day. Who would murder Adam and why? I mean, who would gain from his death? The more and more I thought about it, the more I began to wonder if someone from my past could have had something to do with his murder. I wonder if it could have been one of my past enemies trying to get their revenge. I remembered my homeless friends. Could one of them have done it out of jealousy? I decided that I would pay a visit to where I used to live when I was homeless, just to see what people living there would say to me. I wasn't prepared for the reaction when I started asking them questions, though.
Get out of here. You don't belong here anymore.
I only want to ask you some questions about my husband, Adam. Do you know anything about his murder?
Go away. You're not welcome. You think you're so high and mighty now that you're living in that big mansion? You haven't given us a thought, have you?
Of course I've thought about you.
Don't lie. You're only here now because you want something from us. Well, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. Go on, get out of here.
With that, they started throwing shoes and pots at me. I knew there was no point in me staying there longer. They obviously weren't going to tell me anything. I could understand that they might be jealous that I'd found a new life, but I was so sad that they seemed to hate me now. When I got home, I just went straight to bed. As soon as my head hit the pillow, I burst into tears. My heart felt like it was broken in two. Oh, Adam, I miss you so much. Why did this have to happen? We were so happy. Suddenly, I heard a noise. What was that? Is someone in the house? My heart started beating madly. Oh my god, what if the murderer has come back again? I decided that I wasn't just going to sit around and wait for someone to put a knife in my back too. I was going to go and see where the noise had come from. I picked up a vase from the table next to my bed to use as a weapon and crept out of the room. I went downstairs and looked in every room, but there was no one to be seen. I must have imagined the noise. There is definitely no one in the house. I began to feel foolish. I guess my mind is playing tricks on me, probably because of the stress or something. Just go back to bed, Selena. When I walked into the bedroom, I instantly sensed that I wasn't alone. Someone was in my bed. I flicked the light switch on and saw Adam sitting in the bed. Ah!
Hello, sweetheart.
Want to know what happens next? Make sure you tune into this channel for the third and final episode.